So, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Today we're going to talk about my new theory. What is Dragonblazers? The Dragonblazers theory. You know what I mean. So yeah. What is Dragonblazers? Let's talk about it. This is some dialogue about Dragonblazers with some funny artwork on my part. I drew Noel and Woody myself. I added a duck for Birdly and I added a Susie picture from the beta. So yeah. Anyhow, how's Dragonblazers 3? Beat it yet? Nah, I'm still at the Ice Palace. It's like when your sister gets cursed in Dragonblazers 2, even if her stats suck, she's still your party member. Susie, a real Dragonblazers 2 reference? Today the official Dragonblazers website was updated with a bunch of weird links. I searched around the official website for clues and found about 26 pages so far. It doesn't seem to be an ARG as there are no puzzles and it doesn't lead to anything. Anyone else might think the devs might have been eating a little too much fruitcake this year, XP. So, a lot of people think because of these dialogues that this is a general reference to Deltarune. That Dragonblazers is basically the in-game version of Deltarune. Like obviously a parallel, you know? Like in our world there's Deltarune, in this world there's Dragonblazers. This is true, somewhat. Like, how do I say this the best? In-game, obviously, there are some references, like obviously with the whole Dragonblazers website thing. This is obviously a parallel to our Spamton sweepstakes. And the Ice Palace is obviously also sort of related to something in Deltarune. And who knows, maybe the sister gets cursed in Deltarune and... or like, maybe this is a reference to theirs. However, in-game, in the world of Deltarune, this doesn't make any sense, right? Like, is Dragonblazers just... like, you know? Deltarune doesn't exist in their world. So what is Dragonblazers actually based on in their world? And obviously also in our world. Who knows? Let's look. But which game is Dragonblazers, you know? Which game is it? I have an answer. Bingo! I get it, it's kind of like Dragonblazers. And if we're nice to you, we can win through mercy. And if we're nice to you, we can win through mercy. The whole spam mechanic isn't part of Dragonblazers. And which RPG is the representation of the classic JRPGs as a whole? Again, JRPGs are what Deltarune is, just with a spam mechanic. But again, which game would make a lot of the most sense to be the representation of JRPGs in this world? There's only one answer. Dragon Quests. Dragonblazers is Deltarune's version of... oh fuck it. Damn, I forgot the version. Whatever. It's Deltarune's version of Dragon Quest. Let me explain. What does this mean? This is the thing. Deltarune is Dragonblazers is Deltarune's version of Dragon Quest. The RPG. Dragon Quest is the first modern JRPG. So it has to be what Dragonblazers is based on. Also, Dragonblazers has dragon in its name, and there aren't really a lot of other RPGs with dragon in its name. And there are barely any RPGs with blazers in its name either. I mean, I guess there's Soul Blazer, but this only has the blazer part in German. In English it's called Soul Blazer. And this is a very obscure RPG with barely any similarities to Undertale or Deltarune. It's obviously like not even an RPG, it's more of a Zelda clone. So it has to be Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is the JRPG. Even Final Fantasy, which is usually seen as the JRPG, switched to action RPG a while ago. So it makes sense that Dragonblazers, the JRPG equivalent in the Deltarune world, is just Dragon Quest. But what does this mean for Deltarune as a whole? This could mean that the Dragonblazers Dark World with Dragon Quest elements could be coming. Specifically, slimes. There is one weird missing monster in the entirety of Undertale. Obviously this monster does appear as an NPC, but there aren't really any slime monsters that you fight. I mean, there's Moldsmall, I guess, and it has some references to Dragon Quest slimes by having a different color for the stronger Moldsmalls in Waterfall. But you know, what about, you know, normal slimes that aren't like mold or anything and have like funny faces on them? I made like little frisk slimes for this video. I mean, they have to come, right? And maybe they are like more 8-bitty, so they actually look more different than just a generic slime design. I think I could easily imagine like a video game Dark World. I mean, yeah, we got the Cyber's World, but the Cyber's World barely focused on video games anyways. A video game Dark World could still have enough elements to pull from. I mean, the only really video gamey thing in the Cyber's World was like Birdley's video game references, and obviously, you know, obviously the whole Punch-Out thing with Giga Queen and the Punch-Out machine. So yeah, this makes a lot of sense. We could see slimes, we could see golems, we could see, I don't know, maybe some spells from Dragon Quest. We could see some of the protagonists, you know, some like a warrior, like a jester. Okay, we already have a jester. You know what I mean, like a cleric, like just classic designs from them, or something like this. There's definitely a lot of potential. So yeah, this is my theory. Dragonblazers is Dragon Quest. And the thing is, I thought it was obvious, but no one talked about it. No one in the entire internet said, hey, Dragonblazers could be Dragon Quest. So maybe it's obvious, and maybe it isn't. Anyways, I think that's it for the video, right? No, it isn't. Absolute ads! Read my comic, link in the description. Interested in Undertale Deltarune comic by me? Tell me in the comments. This is definitely ads. Ha! I am Spamton G Spamton. You absolute fruitcake. Bye bye. Right now, bye bye. By the way, I want to do this picture of Chris. Yeah. And by the way, if you notice the sounds in the background, that's my neighbor. He's pretty loud. Yeah. Bye bye.